Have you ever noticed how some people lift you up while others seem to drain your energy? The truth is, the people you spend time with can shape your life in powerful ways. Research suggests that your closest connections influence up to 95% of your success, happiness, and even your mindset. That's huge. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive individuals can push you toward your goals. But negative people can hold you back, making you doubt yourself or lose focus. In this video, we're diving deep into 6 types of toxic people who might be hurting your progress without you even realizing it. From drama magnets to dream crushers, we'll explore who they are, why they act this way, and most importantly, how to protect yourself by setting boundaries or stepping away. By the end, you'll have practical tools to create space for relationships that inspire you and help you thrive. Let's get started and take control of your circle. 1. The overly dramatic person who thrives on chaos. Research shows that the people you spend time with can shape up to 95% of your success or failure in life. Some lift you up, while others drag you down. Today, we're diving into 6 types of negative people you should distance yourself from and how to do it effectively. Let's start with the first type. The overly dramatic person who thrives on chaos, often called a drama queen or king. These individuals are lively, charming, and magnetic, pulling you into their whirlwind of problems. They always seem to have an urgent crisis that only you can solve, and before you know it, you're caught up in their mess. These people feed on attention. Their problems never seem to end. One issue follows another, and they expect you to drop everything to help. It might feel like you're being supportive, but soon you realize their crises are a way of life. They use their charm to make you feel special, saying you're the only one they trust. But this is a tactic to keep you hooked. If you can't help or aren't available, they might lash out, call you selfish, or quickly find someone else to lean on. This behavior isn't about weakness, it's about control. They create a cycle where you're constantly solving their problems while your own needs get ignored. This imbalance breaks the golden rule of healthy relationships: mutual give and take. Good relationships involve both people listening, caring, and respecting each other. But dramatic people soak up all the attention and rarely give any back. Experts suggest this behavior might stem from a mix of genetics, past trauma, or learned habits, making it hard for them to change. For example, some studies point to personality traits like narcissism or histrionic tendencies, where individuals crave the spotlight and feel empty without it. Others might have grown up in chaotic environments, learning that drama is the only way to connect with people. You can't fix them, but you can protect yourself by changing how you respond. First, set clear boundaries. Decide when and how you're willing to help and stick to it. For instance, if they call you at all hours with emergencies, let them know you're only available at specific times, like after work or on weekends. Be firm. Boundaries show you value your time. Second, avoid asking how they're doing. Questions like "what's wrong?" or "how's everything going?" are invitations for them to unload their latest saga. Instead, keep conversations light and neutral, focusing on casual topics like the weather or a shared interest. Third, don't encourage their drama. If they start ranting about a crisis, don't jump in with solutions or sympathy. It fuels their need for attention. Politely redirect the conversation or excuse yourself. You might say, "That sounds tough, but I've got to focus on something else right now." This keeps you from getting sucked into their chaos. Fourth, take care of yourself after dealing with them. Dramatic people can be exhausting, so recharge by doing something you enjoy, like going for a run, reading a book, or listening to music. Physical activity in particular can help clear your mind. Studies show that even a 20-minute walk can reduce stress and boost your mood. Finally, if their behavior doesn't improve, consider stepping back entirely. This might mean seeing them less often or cutting contact if the relationship is too draining. It's not easy, especially if they're a close friend or family member, but your mental health matters. You might feel guilty at first, but remind yourself that you're not responsible for their happiness. Distancing yourself creates space for positive relationships that don't leave you feeling used. By taking these steps, you protect your energy and focus on what truly matters to you. 2. The person you can never please. The second type of negative person to distance yourself from is someone you've tried to please over and over, but nothing you do is ever enough. These individuals are often intimidating or overly demanding, making you feel like you have to tiptoe around them to avoid conflict. You might go out of your way to make them happy, agreeing to their requests or sacrificing your own plans, only to find they're still dissatisfied. No matter how hard you try, they criticize you or point out what you didn't do right, leaving you feeling small and unappreciated. This pattern can trick you into thinking that pleasing them will earn their approval or make you likable. You might believe that saying yes to everything shows you're kind or easygoing, but it's actually harmful. Constantly putting their needs first erases your own identity and priorities. Over time, you start to feel lost, unsure of who you are or what you want. Instead of appreciating your efforts, these people may treat you like you're never good enough, taking advantage of your willingness to help. This dynamic attracts selfish or ungrateful people who see your kindness as weakness. Trying to please everyone often comes from deeper fears, like worrying about rejection or criticism. Many people fall into this trap because they want to avoid feeling guilty or lonely. For example, psychological research highlights that some individuals develop a people-pleasing personality due to childhood experiences, like growing up in a critical or unpredictable household. They learn early on that keeping others happy is a way to feel safe or valued. But as an adult, this habit can lead to burnout, resentment, and even depression as you neglect your own needs. To break free, start by understanding why you feel the need to please. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or because I'm afraid of upsetting them? Recognizing your motives helps you take control. For instance, if you realize you're saying yes out of fear of conflict, you can work on building confidence to stand up for yourself. Journaling or talking to a trusted friend can help you uncover these patterns and gain clarity. Next, take a moment to think before agreeing to their requests. When they ask for something, pause and consider if it aligns with your goals or energy. You don't have to say yes just because it feels automatic. This takes practice, but it's a powerful shift. For example, if they ask you to drop everything to help with a task, you might say, "Let me check my schedule and get back to you." This gives you time to decide what's reasonable without feeling pressured. Speaking up for yourself is another key step. You don't have to be aggressive, just honest. Share your preferences calmly, like saying, "I'd rather do this instead," or "I'm not comfortable with that." This reminds them you're a person with your own needs, not just someone who exists to serve them. Studies on assertiveness show that expressing your thoughts respectfully builds stronger relationships and boosts self-esteem. Over time, people will either respect your boundaries or reveal they only valued you for what you could do for them. Finally, practice saying no without over-explaining. A simple, "No, I can't help this time," is enough. You don't owe them a long excuse. Learning to say no protects your time and energy, allowing you to focus on what matters to you. If they react poorly, that's a sign they don't respect you, and it's okay to let those people fade from your life. By distancing yourself from someone who's impossible to please, you reclaim your power and surround yourself with people who value you for who you are, not what you do for them. 3. The naysayer who crushes your dreams. The third type of person to ignore is the naysayer who constantly shoots down your dreams and ambitions. These are the people who laugh at your goals, tell you your plans are unrealistic, or discourage you from trying something new. When you share your hopes, like starting a business, changing careers, or picking up a new hobby, they respond with doubt, saying things like, "That's impossible," or "You'll never pull it off." They might even try to sabotage your efforts, criticizing you when you work toward a positive change, like eating healthier or breaking a bad habit. Naysayers can make you question yourself. If you listen to their negativity, you might start believing you're not capable or worthy of success. Over time, their doubts can blur into your reality, making you lose sight of your own potential. This is dangerous because it steals your confidence and keeps you from living as your true self. As one wise saying goes, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. To win, you need to tune out the naysayers and stay focused on your path. These individuals often project their own fears or insecurities. For example, they might feel threatened by your ambition because it reminds them of their own unfulfilled goals. Psychological studies suggest that negativity can stem from a fixed mindset, where people believe abilities are set in stone and change is impossible. Naysayers with this mindset struggle to support others' growth because it challenges their worldview. Others might simply enjoy feeling superior by putting you down, a behavior linked to low self-esteem. To handle naysayers, start by redirecting their negativity. If they offer unwanted advice about your plans, politely let them know you're not seeking their input. You could say, "I appreciate your thoughts, but I'm focused on figuring this out myself." Then suggest they channel their energy into their own goals. This sets a boundary without starting a fight. Another approach is to acknowledge their opinion without committing to it. Tell them, "I'll think about what you said and let you know how it goes." This buys you time to move forward without wasting energy arguing. If a naysayer's criticism lacks substance, challenge them with facts. Do your research and come prepared with evidence that supports your goals. For instance, if they say you can't start a side hustle because nobody makes money that way, share success stories or statistics about entrepreneurship, like how 20% of small businesses thrive after 5 years with dedication. Showing you've done your homework can quiet their doubts or at least make them think twice. Plus, researching strengthens your own confidence, as knowledge empowers you to trust your decisions. If their negativity persists, it's time to limit contact. You don't have to cut them out completely, but reduce how often you interact. For example, if they're a co-worker, keep conversations professional and avoid sharing personal goals. If they're family, you might skip certain gatherings or keep visits short. Surrounding yourself with supportive people, like mentors, friends, or online communities, helps balance out their negativity. Studies show that positive social connections boost resilience and motivation, making it easier to pursue your dreams. Ultimately, ignoring naysayers means trusting yourself. Their opinions don't define your worth or potential. Focus on small, consistent steps toward your goals and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step forward proves them wrong and builds the life you want. 4. The manipulative person who uses you. The fourth type of person to distance yourself from is the manipulator who uses you to get what they want. These individuals don't care about your feelings or needs. They focus entirely on their own agenda. They'll say or do anything to convince you to help them, often without thinking about how it affects you. If you need support, they're nowhere to be found, but they expect you to drop everything for them. Their behavior creates an unfair power dynamic, where they exploit your kindness to serve their goals. Manipulators are skilled at making you feel guilty or inadequate if you don't do what they want. They might use flattery, sob stories, or even anger to pressure you. For example, they could say, "You're the only one who can help me," to stroke your ego, or, "If you don't do this, I'm screwed," to guilt trip you. This tactic makes you feel responsible for their problems, even when it's not your job to fix them. Over time, their demands can erode your self-esteem, leaving you questioning your worth. Experts describe manipulation as a form of emotional control, often linked to traits like selfishness or insecurity. Some manipulators act this way because they've learned it gets results, while others may not even realize they're doing it. Regardless, their actions are harmful. For instance, research on workplace dynamics shows that manipulative colleagues can increase stress and lower productivity, as their demands distract you from your own priorities. In personal relationships, manipulation can lead to anxiety or a sense of obligation that's hard to shake. To deal with manipulators, first, stop blaming yourself. Their behavior is designed to make you feel like you're not doing enough. But that's not true. You're not the problem, they are. Remind yourself that their demands reflect their issues, not your shortcomings. Recognizing this helps you stay grounded. Second, turn the tables by asking questions. When they make an unreasonable request, ask, "Is this fair to ask of me?" Or, "How does this benefit both of us?" These questions force them to justify their behavior, which they often can't do convincingly. Another strategy is to slow things down. Manipulators thrive on quick answers, so don't feel pressured to respond right away. If they push for an immediate commitment, say, "I need time to think about it," this gives you space to weigh the situation and decide what's best for you. Taking control of the timeline shifts the power back in your favor. For example, if they ask you to lend money on the spot, delaying your response lets you assess whether it's a pattern or a genuine need. If their behavior doesn't change, keep your distance. Manipulators often show different sides depending on who they're with. One minute they're charming, the next they're rude or helpless. This inconsistency is a red flag. You're not here to fix them or endure their games. Limit interactions to what's necessary, like brief exchanges if they're a neighbor or co-worker. If you can't avoid them entirely, stay emotionally detached by focusing on facts rather than their emotional appeals. Protecting yourself from manipulators frees you to build relationships based on trust and respect. 5. The stubborn person who wants you to stay the same. The fifth type of person to ignore is the stubborn one who refuses to accept how you've grown. These are often people close to you, like family or old friends, who hold on to an outdated version of who you are. They label you based on your past. Maybe they see you as the shy kid, the troublemaker, or the one who never finishes anything. Even when you've worked hard to change, they dismiss your progress and expect you to stay the same. Their stubbornness can make you doubt yourself or feel pressured to fit their expectations. This behavior hurts because it ignores your efforts to become a better version of yourself. Healthy relationships encourage growth, but these people seem to want you stuck in a box. They might say things like, "You'll always be like this," or "Why are you trying to act different?" Their resistance often comes from their own discomfort with change. For example, your growth might challenge their identity or role in your life, like a parent who struggles to see you as an independent adult. Psychological research explains that people cling to familiar patterns for security, even when those patterns hold others back. Conforming to their view might feel easier to avoid conflict, but it's a trap. Pretending to be someone you're not dims your light and blocks your happiness. True success comes from being authentic, not from pleasing others at your own expense. The only way to handle these stubborn people is to ignore their opinions about who you should be. You can't control what they think, but you can control how much their words affect you. Start by staying true to yourself. Remind yourself of your goals and the person you're becoming. If they criticize your changes, like pursuing a new career or setting boundaries, don't argue or justify. Simply say, "This is important to me," and keep moving forward. Actions speak louder than words, and living authentically shows them you're not going back. Surrounding yourself with people who celebrate your growth, like supportive friends or mentors, reinforces your confidence. Studies show that positive relationships increase life satisfaction, while toxic ones drain it. Let go of the need for their approval. Their judgments reflect their limitations, not yours. If they can't accept the real you, it's okay to create distance. You might still love them, but you don't have to let their negativity shape your life. Focus on relationships that lift you up without forcing you to hide who you are. By ignoring their outdated labels, you open the door to real love, joy, and success on your terms. 6. The unforgiving friend who holds your past against you. The sixth type of person to distance yourself from is the unforgiving friend who refuses to let go of your past mistakes. These people judge you based on things you did long ago, holding grudges no matter how much you've grown. They bring up old errors, like a careless comment or a moment of weakness, to shame you or keep you in check. Even if you've apologized and changed, they act like you're still that person, unwilling to see you in a new light. This behavior is toxic because it traps you in the past. Mistakes are part of being human. They help you learn and grow. But someone who clings to your old flaws is more interested in control than connection. Their refusal to forgive wastes energy and blocks both of you from moving forward. Research on forgiveness shows that holding grudges harms mental health, increasing stress and resentment for the person who can't let go. By keeping you tied to your past, they're the ones making a mistake now. To handle unforgiving friends, start by forgiving yourself. Think about how easily you forgive others when they apologize sincerely. Now give yourself that same grace. Self-forgiveness is harder because your inner critic loves to replay your mistakes, but it's essential. Try writing a letter to yourself, acknowledging what happened and affirming your growth. Studies suggest this practice reduces guilt and boosts self-compassion, helping you move on. Next, embrace self-love. You're more than your past errors. Focus on your strengths and the positive changes you've made, like being kinder or working harder toward your goals. Celebrate these wins, even small ones, to drown out that negative voice. For example, keeping a gratitude journal, writing 3 things you're proud of each day, can shift your mindset toward positivity, as research links gratitude to improved well-being. Finally, learn from your mistakes to keep growing. Reflect on what went wrong, not to beat yourself up, but to understand how to do better. If you hurt someone, acknowledge it fully and take steps to avoid repeating it. This might mean practicing patience, listening more, or setting clearer boundaries. Growth shows you're not defined by your past, and it builds confidence that you're on the right path. If this friend still won't forgive you, it's time to let them go. You can't force them to move on, but you can choose who gets space in your life. Reducing contact or calmly explaining that you've changed can create room for healthier relationships. Ignoring unforgiving people doesn't mean hating them, it means valuing your peace. Every time you step away from negativity, you make space for positivity, like supportive friends or new opportunities. Stepping away from toxic people is one of the most powerful choices you can make for your happiness and success. We've explored 6 types who can hold you back. The drama-driven chaos creator, the person who's never satisfied no matter how hard you try. The naysayer who dims your dreams. The manipulator who uses you, the stubborn one who refuses to see your growth, and the unforgiving friend who chains you to your past. Each of these individuals in their own way can sap your energy, confidence, and focus if you let them. But here's the good news, you have the power to change that. By setting boundaries, speaking up for yourself, and sometimes creating distance, you protect your mental health and open the door to relationships that truly lift you up. Think about what science tells us. Positive social connections don't just feel good, they improve your physical health, reduce stress, and even help you live longer. For example, studies show that strong, supportive relationships can lower blood pressure and boost resilience, while toxic ones increase anxiety and weaken your immune system. Choosing who you spend time with is like choosing the fuel for your life's engine. Positive people keep you running smoothly, while negative ones cause breakdowns. This isn't about cutting everyone out or being unkind. It's about prioritizing your well-being. Sometimes that means having tough conversations, saying no, or even walking away from relationships that no longer serve you. It's not selfish, it's self-care. As you move forward, reflect on the people in your life. Are they cheering for your success, or are they pulling you down? Surround yourself with those who inspire you to be your best self. People who listen, respect your boundaries, and celebrate your wins, big or small. Life is too short to let negativity hold you back. By letting go of these toxic influences, you create space for joy, growth, and opportunities you might not even see yet. Take it one step at a time, trust yourself, and watch how your life transforms when you choose positivity over drama, support over criticism, and authenticity over pleasing others. If you found value in today's video and want more practical tips to build a happier, more successful life, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.